Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Moon. So I'm going into this kind of blind. All I know is it's set in space and Sam Rockwell is the main character and he's like an astronaut or something. It could even be that it's like about the space race in the 60s. I don't know. That's all I know about this. So Sam Rockwell is leading this, and I haven't really seen anything where he's like completely blown me away. Actually, I take that back. He was great in Jojo Rabbit. Dude, I'm trying to record. Sorry. Okay, clones. Yeah, I was going to say there isn't anything I've seen where he's blown me away, but he was really great in Jojo Rabbit. But, you know, and see if he can lead a movie. I don't know. So yeah, before we get into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can get 1 week early access. So next week's video will be Fight Club. You can watch that right now over there. Or you can get full-length timer-based reactions. So if there's anything I cut out, you can see stuff that I've cut out. And you can get access to polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump into it.
There was a time when energy was a dirty word. But that was the past. Where are we now?
Is this set in the future then? It's like a future with sustainable energy?
The largest producer of fusion energy in the world.
Fusion energy, okay.
Energy harvested by machine from the far side of the moon.
Oh.
Today, we deliver enough clean-burning helium-3 to supply the energy needs of nearly 70% of the planet.
They collect energy, they collect helium from the moon and send it to Earth. Okay. Lunar Industries. Is this on the moon? This looks like a spacecraft of some sort, but if it's in the future, maybe this is just what the architecture looks like. So it is on the moon? Oh, Benedict Wong. It's like they collect it, send it back to Earth, and everything happens at work. All of the fusion reactions happen on Earth. Or Kevin Spacey. I like this music. Set in a cool tone. I feel like you can kind of tell that that's a miniature just by the way it interacts, or maybe just because it's low gravity, but to me it does feel like that's a miniature. It's always cool when there's like hard sci-fi stuff, but it's presented as almost mundane. Like this just seems like it's part of his normal routine, and how disheveled he is and everything. He just like doesn't care anymore. So it's like excavating something. I do like how the credits are kind of like put on here. It fits into the world almost, if you get what I mean. Like the perspective of it kind of fits.
How are things down there?
It's almost hard to recognize him with the beard.
Good parties or anything? Oh, thanks for the football feed. It almost felt alive, and
It feels a bit isolated there.
3 years is a long haul.
3 years, yeah. Is he the only one there with that robot?
That's it. Over and out. Rock and roll. God bless America.
3 years is a long time to be stuck somewhere on your own. It's cool to see how he's kind of made it his own. Got photos of like friends and maybe a girlfriend or wife.
Do that for you, Sam.
Ah! God damn it!
Is it going to be a case where the robot is evil or something? I don't know. I don't know where the story is going to go. Oh, that's cool. Like a railgun. It does seem all kind of realistic so far. It kind of seems like it could be a realistic future, like we're all doing fusion technology. That's cool, a haircut.
Sam, it might help you to talk about it.
Gertie, have you heard anything new about anyone fixing lunar sat? I've only got 2 weeks, but it's not fair to whoever's coming up here next.
Building like a little town. I guess it's just something to keep you busy, having a little hobby while you're up there.
Message received from your wife, Sam.
Hi, Sam. It's me. It was really good to hear your voice. I know you're really lonely up there, but I think in a lot of ways it's been really good for you.
What did you want to say to Daddy, baby?
Was their relationship struggling before we went up there? So this has almost helped him out a bit.
Home soon. It's her birthday next month. And I was thinking about maybe a playhouse for the garden
Oh, it cut there.
together. I love you, and I miss you.
I love you, and I miss you, and It's funny how classical music is almost associated
Really
with
full of
space
yourself,
now.
aren't you, Doug?
Are they the names of his plants? Oh, he's got names written on them. Oh, he's getting visions of someone sitting there. Oh,
I told you I saw something on TV and I spilled boiling water on my hand.
Sam, you said it was the TV that distracted you, but when I came in, the
TV wasn't on.
Perhaps you were imagining things.
Yeah, you think too much, pal.
Who was that he saw? Because that didn't look like his wife. It looked like someone else. I like how he has like normal objects, like a manual alarm clock and photos and books around. He's like made the place his home. He's sick or something. He's like sweating when he woke up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
2
it's all
weeks to go, Sam.
defrosted stuff,
buddy.
dehydrated
Would
stuff.
you like some hot sauce
Her
on your
beans?
No, my tummy's a little tender, actually.
I bet the food gets very boring.
Miles. Mark is 9.
Oh, it's got footage. Some glitch.
Mark's 11 miles on the button.
So has he named all the screens and
Luke's
stuff?
a little twitchy today.
He's named that one John and Luke. They do not have a way to temporarily turn it off when he drives up so they don't get covered in the rocks. Seeing someone again. They look like the same girl. I wonder who that is. Ah, he crashed. Get your helmet on. You slowly crashed into one of the units. Okay. How did he get here? Did Gertie come and rescue him somehow?
Where am I?
So he was knocked
Sam,
out.
you're in the infirmary. You had an accident. I'd like to keep you under observation here in the infirmary.
Yes, he looks really dirty. He's like he's got coffee all over him.
How long have I been out?
Not long, Sam. Go back to sleep.
You don't want to stay too long because it could delay him returning home. A very high bed. You'd fall for if you fell off it. That would hurt. I don't know. Is there something up with Gertie? Is it? It's quite a trope that you know, the evil robot in the sci-fi movie.
The new system is in good working order, but we only have 2 working harvesters now.
How are the repairs looking?
Sam, you're out of bed.
Yeah.
I like the little smiley face on Gertie, just to show expression, I guess.
We've been having some problems with the lunar sat, and our live feed seems to be down.
That wasn't a video message. That was a live chat, wasn't it?
Sam, you're
So
not going to
Gertie's
walk
lying
around.
now.
Your belongings are in your quarters, Sam.
Well, bring it in here.
Certainly.
Yeah, you can still barely walk.
Excellent, Sam.
We're doing like mind tests and stuff,
What's up?
problem
Outta
solving.
here.
You can return to the sleeping quarters tomorrow.
Unlock the doors and I'll go fix it.
I'll pass on your message.
More dreams of back home. Okay. What was the symbolism there? It was like him in space reaching for what he had in the past, or reaching for his relationship.
unnecessary risks. You're too important to us. You stay put.
Is that Matt Berry? Oh, he's gonna try hacking into something. There must be cameras all over though, right? Is he gonna try and shut down Gertie?
You better let me go outside and take a look.
There is no damage to the exterior shell.
Why won't they let him go outside? Is there something?
You need to let me go outside and fix this problem, Gertie.
Why is he so desperate to get outside, and why won't they let him get outside? His suit isn't even there. Does he just want that bit of alone time where he can walk about outside? Is that why he wanted to get out so bad? Oh, going to see where he crashed. Okay. Yeah, he just got caught and buried under there. But how did he get out? I noticed he had a photo of his daughter in there. Is he trying to go back to get that? What? That's his other suit. But how would he have got back without his suit on? Is there someone in there?
Gertie!
It's himself. Is it?
Outside with the stove harvester. Who is he? Who is he?
Yeah, I need to see his face.
You tell me who that is!
Sam Bell. We need to get him to the infirmary.
But he's Sam Bell. Is it himself? My theory at the moment is they have clones of him.
Hello, Sam.
And the clone woke up with Sam's consciousness. Like they have spare clones of him or something. So if he dies, they just have another one ready.
I could get you some water.
Okay. This isn't where I thought this was going.
Sam, you suffered a slight concussion in the crash and have incurred minor injuries.
Yeah, because this other one didn't have a scar by his eye or the burnt hand.
Gertie, is there someone in the room with us?
Sam, get some sleep.
Gertie is holding a lot of information back, it seems. Is Gertie just going to try and convince him that that was a hallucination because he's so tired? But he's going to have to explain to the other one. Does this one think it's a hallucination because he was seeing people before, wasn't he?
Gertie, what the hell's going on? Who's the guy in the rec room?
Sam Bell.
Come on.
You are Sam Bell.
Can Gertie just like not compute it because he's a robot? He just sees them both as the same entity.
They don't know you were recovered alive from the accident.
alive?
So Gertie's not in on it, or he's just giving out the illusion that he's not in on it? Why don't they just try and talk to each other, these two Sams? But there was a reason Gertie wasn't letting them out, but that might have just been an order from Command. Maybe Command knows what's up. Is that where they've been excavating those lines?
Just get my slippers. I'm using it. These are mine.
Why are they not just like talking?
It's the fact that I'm here talking to a clone that's slightly troubling. I'm not a clone.
Oh, they both are clones. Who knows?
You're the clone.
Okay, Sam. You're not a clone.
I don't know, I have this feeling like maybe they're both clones and the original Sam hasn't even left Earth at all.
How long have you been here?
3 years. Almost 3 years. I guess I'd still be in that crash rover. You saved my life, and
Do they just have loads of him up here to like perpetually stay and harvest everything? And when he was going to go home, they were just going to kill him because the original one's on Earth? That's kind of my running theory at the moment.
you look just like me. It's incredible. What do I look like?
You can tell which one's older though, because he's like around his eyes, it's like darker. Then he's obviously got the cut. This other one seems a lot more athletic, and even their personalities are a bit different because one's been here for 3 years by himself.
You want me to show you how to hold that?
No, I don't need you to show me how to hold it.
It must be difficult acting against yourself. I don't know how they did this. Maybe there was another actor there and they did put his head on them in post. But it seems like it might just be like this. Just looks like it's 2 shots, and they just spliced it together because they're never quite overlapping or anything.
Oh, I don't remember doing all of it. I remember doing the church.
Was there another clone here before you started that project?
Yeah, I know Tess.
And Tess is the girlfriend.
You know about Eve, right? What? We had a girl, Eve. She's my little monkey. She's our little monkey.
This is a big realization that you suddenly know you've got a kid.
Secure you a rescue unit. Ahead of schedule. Rescue unit Eliza. Now we expect them to reach you in approximately 14 hours.
Well, then I'm going back. That's it for me.
What about this other one?
What you really think? You're a fucking clone. You don't.
Yeah, this other one's put it together.
What about the original Sam? Huh?
I'm the original Sam. I'm Sam fucking Bell.
Whoa.
Me! Am I a clone?
Are you hungry?
Yeah, Gertie's just not going to answer. Look at even like the difference in their skin color. You can tell one's not as good as the other one.
Think about it. How did I get up here so quickly after your crash? It was in time. I must have come from the base.
Yeah, they must have them already
That's ridiculous.
ready. It's like they have a 3-year lifespan on the clone, and then they introduce a new clone.
It's a company, right? They have investors. They have shareholders.
That's why Tess was so weird on the video call. She was like, she's talking to Sam, but it's not like a real Sam or something, because the real one's at home. It's like, hey, send some messages to the clones just to keep them in line.
Fucking sitting there sulking like a little fucking boy.
I like the difference in personalities. One's like feisty and the other's like this old man who's like done with it all.
I want to look underneath that model. You're not touching this model.
Don't ever tell me what to do, okay? Just, ow. You let go. Let go of the knife. Don't push me. Fucking tell you, let go of the goddamn knife.
They're gonna destroy the model or something. Push each other on the model. The egos just get in the way. They could have just, you know, lifted the model up gently and placed it down somewhere else. Has that reopened the cut in his eye? Yeah.
I really touched eye, man. Let me see.
What is it about Sam that scares you?
He flies off the hand. I see it now. I see what Tess was talking about. She left me. Tess for 6 months. She gave me a second chance.
And then he left.
Change.
You have changed, Sam.
What about the messages she sent to me?
Yeah, because she could just have 3 years of messages loaded up and then just resend them to every clone over and over. But maybe Gertie has been through all of this with the decline of the clones.
Am I really a clone?
When you first arrived at Serang, there was a small crash. You suffered minor brain damage and memory loss.
So he doesn't...
No crash. You were being awakened. It is standard procedure for all
Yeah.
to be given tests.
What about Tess? What about Eve?
They are memory implants, Sam. I am very sorry.
Little tap on the back.
How's the nose? Much better, thank you. I'm sorry about that. It's okay.
They're both having an existential crisis.
Hey, can you turn that off?
Walking on Sunshine again. There's 2 movies in a row where it showed up.
Owner instructed Gertie to leave.
Clone 1 or whatever. He's just kind of losing it, isn't he?
I walked in on Gertie talking to Central. He was having a live conversation.
So live conversations work, yeah?
That's impossible. There was a flare. It fried the satellite.
Because then they'll find out that they're clones somehow. So they're both venturing out. Maybe they'll find another base that's blocking them or something. And that's where the clones are coming from.
Second, I see something.
Approaching station 3.
Station 3. There is another station. And that's where they're blocking the live feed from. Is something wrong with him? Do they have them like scheduled to die? The clones. It's like he has a 3-year expiry date and then he gets really ill and then just dies. Lost a tooth. Oh, that's gnarly. All of the blood still on. Oh, come on, just get changed. I don't know. Just covered in blood.
Access denied.
They're locking him out of everything now. Putting in a new password. Okay, so Gertie is helping out a bit.
15. My hair's falling out.
So that was a previous clone. That's that little interruption he saw before as well, right? And they just kill him when that happens. Is that how many of them there were? That list there? So yeah, there's been multiple clones before him.
Rescue arrival estimated 9 hours.
What's with the rescue then? Because that wasn't the plan. Yeah, it like cremates them and that takes all the ashes out. Barely even has the strength to do it. Oh, there's just loads of them. It looks like enough for years, centuries. Are those all food packets as well on the walls? But this second Sam is the first one who knows that he's a clone from the beginning, I guess.
Why are there so many of them?
There's like 5 empty slots there. Does this mean this is the 5th one? Yeah, there's so many, but there's only a few at the start. So our original Sam is the 5th one, and this new one is the 6th, and they just opened the pod for the 7th to look at him.
Is this the Bell residence?
This is the Bell residence. Could you call back? There's something wrong with the picture.
Is that the daughter? Even older?
I'm sorry, she passed away some years ago.
That's Eve, isn't it?
I'm her daughter. Can I help you?
Hi. How old are you now?
I'm 15.
How did Mommy die, sweetheart?
Dad? There's someone asking about Mom.
Who's asking about Mom?
You can't see his real self. That just confirms it.
That's enough.
This reminds me of the scene from Interstellar, you know, the one I mean, where he finds his daughter's the same age as him when he left. Super similar. If there was a way for him to get home, could he even survive much longer? That's a great shot. How distant Earth is. Who wants to go home?
They find us over at the same time, they're not gonna let us live. You know, that return vehicle is,
There isn't going to be a cruise there.
Okay.
Is it like when one of them dies, the rescue crew is just there to clean up? Because it wouldn't make sense for a clone to wake up and everything's already decorated, you know? Or would they have some way to explain that away? Like, oh, you had a crash and hit your head. You lost some of your memory.
Is this the Bell residence?
This is the Bell residence.
Now this one's singing it as well.
I'm trying to reach Tess Bell. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
It's cool to see the different reactions from the two.
Gertie, we need to wake up a new clone.
New clones can only be awakened once a 3-year contract is completed.
Gertie, if we don't wake up a new clone, me and the other Sam will die. We'll be killed.
So awaken a third one and keep it in the dark from these other two, and then the rescue crew comes and takes these two away.
I need your help hauling it out to the crash site.
What about us?
Are they gonna find me? You're going back to Earth before they get here.
In that helium-3 launcher, I did the math. You're gonna pull some G's, but you'll be fine. You'll be all right.
I don't feel like that's the plan. I think he knows that this one's gonna die. So they're gonna awaken this one, kill it, put it in the bot, put it in the crash. I feel like he's just gonna kill this older one and put him in the bot, in the crash. Maybe send himself home, so then the clones can just carry on the cycle up here.
Dude, I'm not going back.
Scare the crap out of her.
Yeah.
We can't kill anybody. You can't. I know you can't, because I can't. It was a good plan, you know? You just picked the wrong guy to go back.
Even the old Sam agrees.
You should travel, you know? You remember Tess came in for that interview? She was so beautiful.
Was that how they met?
I had to give her the job. I asked her if she wanted to go get like an ice cream cone or something dorky like that. She said, let's get a drink. I said, okay. What do you...
If he's still just on the brink of death when they find him, would they have some way to heal him, perhaps? They are a rescue crew. I love this music. It's really... You guys see how much this is affecting him.
If anyone were to check my memory cache, it would put you in considerable danger. I could reboot myself once you have departed.
Oh, someone's already waking up. Maybe slightly too early.
I hope life on Earth is everything you remember it to be.
Yeah, what if they get back to Earth and there might be some big realization?
Of course. The new Sam and I will be back to our programming as soon as I've finished rebooting.
ELIZA arrival estimated 8 minutes.
He should have left ages ago. I don't know why he waited until the last minute like this. He's got some food in there in his sleeping bag. Will he have enough oxygen for 3 days? He's got those tanks there. Maybe they're oxygen. Doing something last minute? What's he realized? New route. Okay. Oh, is he going to have it destroy the jammers? Have that destroy the jammers or something, so the next one will have a way to communicate with Earth? Seeing the other one escaping.
Made contact. He ain't going nowhere. Back him up and we'll get started on repairs to the harvester.
Is he actually going to make it back safely? They must have some way to catch the launch stuff. Yeah, destroying the comms tower. The future Sams will know how to escape as well. I feel like I've heard that music before.
The clone of Sam Bell has been giving evidence at CEA's board of directors meeting in Seattle.
Yeah. He's bringing down the company after all that's happened. Okay. Okay, that was Moon. I really enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting that clone plot point at all. Don't worry, I recorded the intro again after watching the movie so I could put that little clone joke thing in. I really liked how the movie felt quite realistic. It felt like that could happen in 50, 60 years odd when we've tried to become more green and we've got nuclear fusion, because nuclear fusion does seem to be a good path forward for renewable energy. We're not quite there yet in the real world. We still put more power in than we get power out, but we're getting close. And, you know, this does seem to be something that would make sense in our modern day. And that's kind of scary because, especially towards the end, the movie is kind of a critique on capitalism a bit. You know, it comes down to like this kind of moral thing, that is it moral to create clones and have them do this work for profit? And then there's this whole debate on, are the clones real people if the real Sam is still on Earth and things like that. The idea of the Sam going back to Earth and having all these interviews and was like suing the company potentially, that's super interesting. I would love to see that side of it as well as like a follow-up. That would be great, but that's not what this movie is. It's about the discovery of the clone system, and I think I called it pretty early once I saw some of the clones. I think I kind of clocked onto what the plan was, but it is like scarily accurate. Like, I could imagine someone doing this in the future if we had the technology to do that. So Sam Rockwell was really great in this. He was basically like the only actor really, but he was great. You could distinguish the two clones. You know, there was some physical distinct where you could do it because of the blood and the way they moved, but it was also in the body language and in his expressions and just the way he acted. It was really great. And then there were some great emotional scenes as well when he discovered that his daughter was the same age as him and things like that. Yeah, so Sam Rockwell did a great job. Okay, so you probably saw when I saw Kevin Spacey's name in the credits, I kind of winced a bit. And I mean, you know, we all know what happened with Kevin Spacey and what he did. If you don't know, just look it up. I haven't had a chance to talk about this on the channel yet, about kind of like when an actor does something bad and you no longer want to support them. Obviously, I didn't know that Kevin Spacey was in this until I started watching it, and he was only as a voice really. But my stance on kind of supporting things that have problematic people in is, if it was created before everything came out, I would still watch and support things. So like this came out way before Kevin Spacey was accused of anything, and I still watch it, because if you're deciding not to watch something, you're deciding not to support all of the people in it. So that means not supporting Sam Rockwell or all of the other hundreds of people that probably worked on this movie. If it was the case that the movie came out today, after everything that Kevin Spacey had been accused of, then I definitely wouldn't support it, because those people, they know what Kevin has done and were still deciding to work with him. Before, when Moon was made, they probably didn't have a clue. So it's like unfair to not watch the movie and not support the people. But movies that are made after the accusations, I'm not going to support, you know, because those people working on the film have actively decided to work on a project with someone they know has done all of these horrible things. So I think you can tell that the budget on this wasn't like the greatest, but you know, there were sometimes when the CGI wasn't great, or you could tell that the little cars were miniatures, but that doesn't really distract from the movie, because all of the intrigue and all the emotional weight still carry the movie. I don't feel distracted by all of that. If I was less interested in everything else going on in the movie, that would detract even more. But here, it doesn't really. So Duncan Jones was director. I thought he did a great job for his first feature. And then I've just looked on his IMDb, and his other movies are Source Code and the Warcraft film. So I haven't seen Source Code. I've heard of it, but I think this is like a remake. So I don't know how well received that was. And I know Warcraft wasn't like the most successful film. I haven't seen it, so I can't fully judge it, but I know it wasn't super well received. So it would be interesting to see what he does next. and maybe if he does something that has a bit less studio influence, because Warcraft was like a big blockbuster film, wasn't it? So maybe the studio influence was the problem there, not Duncan exclusively. So I want to see where he goes further in his career. Yeah, I think this does really show off Sam Rockwell's acting talent, because it's so hard to act against yourself, because you're not acting against yourself, you're acting against nothing, and then it's done in post. So that must be really hard to do. Like, I did it a tiny bit for that intro, and it was still hard to get the timing right just for that. So doing it for a full movie must be really difficult, and there must have been lots of things they had to do here. Like, they probably had a stunt double as well who stood in for some of the scenes where you couldn't see his face, maybe. So there might have been moments of that as well. There's a lot of like techniques you can do to hide it really well, but they did a great job at convincing you that there were two of them. You know, because I mentioned some of the CGI wasn't great, like the stuff on the moon, that was not a distraction, but all of the editing to make it look like there were two Sams, that was great. I was convinced the whole time for that. Yeah, I really love the mystery and the intrigue, because at first it seems like it's just going to be, oh, he's like abandoned on the moon or something like that. And then as soon as he finds the second body, your mind just goes crazy theorizing what it is. Like, is it someone else? Is it an alien who's copied him? Is it a clone, which it was? Is it something to do with time travel, because he saw that glitched out screen and it was him with a beard? So there was loads of stuff that it could have been. It was really cool. And there was this great sense of realism. The whole base had been kind of worn in, and then when they go underground and find all of the other clones, there's like loads and loads of food, so they took that into account, that, you know, there needed to be food. I just feel like there was a lot of thoughts put into it, and put into like the production design side of things as well, which is really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider leaving a like or a comment, and if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe. Trying to hit 500 soon, and my goal is to do 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you like this, subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.